Hello, welcome back. Hope you're all well. Right, we're on part 3 now, and at the moment the situation is the engine's just sitting there at the moment. It's not bolted on. I dragged it out from underneath that shelf this morning. Had to crawl underneath this to get to it. But yeah, I dragged it out. I was going to use the V-twin to mock it up, and I thought, no, I'll use it, it's lighter, but I don't know if it is. It's quite bloody heavy. At the moment, you'll notice there's a pulley on the bottom of it. That's the original shaft, but upside down. You can see it. I'm just sort of having a little play, you know, at the moment with the belt. Now this belt is well and truly stretched. It's an old belt, it's all cracked up and everything else. But I wanted to try it so that I can sort the adjustments out to its maximum. I tried it with a little pulley on it, and it's just ridiculous because I didn't think taking the big pulley off and putting that smaller pulley on it, or it's about half the size, would make that will gain, you know, sort of gain me that much slack in the belt. But it has done. It's a hell of a lot of slack. I'm starting to wonder if that is the belt, my belt, and it's not Louis' belt. Pardon me, Louis' spare belt. I'm not too sure, but well, that's why I hung my belt. And but I think it is the original one. It's just that it has made a big difference. So it's all caught up in there at the moment. What I'm thinking of doing is having 4 tensioners, 2 on this side. The spring, I know the spring's not in the right place. Tensioner sort of here, and the tensioner sort of here, and then another one over here somewhere, and one over there. Now, I know you're going to say, well, that's no good because it's going to be too much pulling the clutch, but on about fitting 4 doesn't mean I'm going to use 4. Because what I'm thinking is, if I'm stuck somewhere and I've got some tensioners there and not doing anything, and I've got an old belt laying about, or get another belt from another machine, it just gives me a few more options to bodge a belt in there to get me home. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because obviously I want less I have on it, the better for me, because my thinking is that more pulleys, more things dragging the belt, is more friction. More friction means more heat, and more heat means belt stretching, if you get what I'm saying. So I want to keep the friction down to the minimum, and that way, if it doesn't, less it stretches, more more pressure will be on the belt. So that's what I'm going to try to figure out at the moment. After looking at it, the major job is beginning of this, well, I don't know in this video, but the major problem this week is going to be I'll get it down. Jammed on the belt. There you go. Let me turn this off and I'll get it off. I've got it off. This is the original pulley for the drive. This is the pulley for the mower. So we don't use this. That's the original, but I want to use this pulley here. So it's got to go like that. I mean, there's loads of videos on swapping these over, but I mean, if you haven't seen it before, you can't just put these up the other way up, because for a key I use these dents. So I use these for a key, and you'll notice that this half hasn't got it in, so the shaft is only sort of so long, so it will get the drive. Not that it makes too much difference, but the height between here and here is different. So I think it was Redneck Computer Geek did a video, and it was quite interesting, but the only thing that's different is he's got a plasma car and I haven't. I'm sure it was Redneck Computer Geek, but anyway, he cut round, it was somebody, and I dare say other people have done it. They'd cut around here, took this top bit off, and left this as a guide basically. They'd, like I say, it's done all with a plasma cut. This was cut around here, took off, and just simply slid on top of that one and then welded on. So I'm thinking I'll have to give it a go, I think, with an angle grind and see how I get on. I think it's going to be a bit awkward. But my theory was originally one of my things I was thinking is to use Terry's press. You can see that all the way around, that's where the washer goes in. Get Terry's press and just carry that line on. Oh, you can see I punched it once, just with a punch, just to see it, it's hard as hell. Is to get someone to press it in, but the trouble with that is you've got to really get something in the sort of in the tube part of it, so you don't crush it. But I mean, it can be. I'm sure it can be done. I mean, obviously it's done in the factory, but I think you need a decent bit of gear to do it with. So it looks like what I'm going to have to do is cut this one off, cut it. If not, they are available on eBay, but people who sell them are basically sort of robbing you for it. They want like 25 quid for one of these, plus, you know, which sort of daylight robbery really. I might even have something on the other hater. I haven't even checked that to see what pulley sizes they're running. That's running, so it might even be worth having a look at that. But anyway, that's that. So that's the problem with it. And the other problem is, you can see it, you can see daylight for it. See? Because there's supposed to be like a washer in there, like I was saying, and it just basically rests on these little lugs. And this one was used to wobble about in it, and that's gone. But that's how you, that slides on the shaft, and you bolt it in the bottom there normally. So I'm going to have to find that washer or one what will fit and weld it in. And then what I'll do is, once I've got it all sussed out and once I've got the pulleys on there, is I'll cut the shaft off, because you don't want it hanging down, because if you hit something you're going to bend it and bend your crank. So, yeah, that's the pulley situations on the tensioner situation. Now the next problem is I've just found this pulley, what is obviously big on the outside, but really it matters about your you know, like your V, because that's what your belt's driving on. It's not driving on the outside. This is probably another quarter inch, well, it'll be about ½ inch round, from side to side, I suppose. Wider, it might be a bit more. Yeah, it might be a bit more than quarter and half, about a good ½ inch each side, so probably an inch bigger. Now the problem with that one, I think this is the drop. Well, it's got the cut in it, and it makes me think it's the one off of, it's the dry pulley, the mower pulley off of Louis Westwood. The only problem I've got with it is the hole is too small for the shaft. It was too small for the shaft. So I'm not too sure how to mark it up. But I'm wondering if I get the little mill tool on the Dremel, Dremel type thing, whatever it is, the multi tool, whatever they want to call it. And I wonder if I can go round and just take it, make that hole a bit wider, cut that bit off, like I said about cutting that pulley basically in half, without trying to cut through the tube itself. I wonder if it'll work. It's just the only problem, like I say, I had with it is that hole being too small, and this is like a two-piece pulley, if you know what I mean. It's riveted together. Yeah, it's just riveted together. So, I mean, I didn't want to give it up that much, but what do you do? All it means is it'll go a bit quicker, probably a lot quicker, and but it gives it less torque. That's the trouble, and it's torque you want when you're in the mud, rather than all out speed, I think. But I'm gonna have a look at. I'm gonna have a look at what I can do with this pulley, and then we'll make our minds up. This is the trouble. These things will take the time, you know. What I've done so far is I've sprayed some grey primer. You can see I've sprayed some grey primer on the end of the shaft. I wanted to do all that in, so I didn't get it on this, but that don't poke out far enough. So I've done it on that end, and I don't know if you can see it. I've just laid this on top of it while it's wet, and that's my hole. I'm going to do this side as well, and then I'm going to try a little tiny little mill thing on the end of that to what do we do this? Just to see if it works. It might be too hard for it. It might not work. Might work. It might not. It's worth a try, isn't it? Well, it is working, but it's very, very slow. I'm just thinking about welding a plate on the back of it and drilling it out. But the trouble is, the only one I've got nearer to it. It's a bit slack, so it'll probably take out too much. I know it gives me a chance to get the weld in it, but I'm thinking, I don't know, I won't mind up yet. That's where a little lathe would come in handy. You just sort of machine it out, and a little milling machine. So again, little milling machine would come in very handy for doing this sort of stuff, wouldn't it? But we ain't got them, so we've got to make do with what we've got. But it's getting there. I've had to stop for quite a while because Louis actually come down and started on his Westwood, where he took the seat off, and he took it off the plate, and he took the hater one off as well, and he started. That obviously it doesn't line up, and he was trying to make it up, and I think he's trying to assault now. I mean, no, I think he's got. He had his turn. I don't think he wants to come out again now for a little while. It only took 3 or 4 months so, when we come out. Right, I'm going to carry on. See how we get on. Alright, I'm going to leave that pulley for now because it's Sunday night and I don't want to make too much noise. I'm going to leave it, but I think what I'll do tomorrow is do what I said originally, what was to grind that off, cut that one and put it on. At least I'll have a pulley up and running, whereas I don't want to wait, just because I don't want to waste too much time on this, but I will go back to this because I think it'll work, and we can always cut it off again, and you know, I won't put a bead around it. I'll just sort of tack it on so we've got something such grabbing. I'm going to see if I can find something quiet to do, or fairly quiet to do. Like I say, it's late and it's Sunday night, so it's causing too much aggro if I get on with something else. And I'll be back to this in the morning. It's the next day, and I'd set this up to drill the other pulley out. And I went and watched that video of Redneck Computer Geek, and he mentioned hole saw, and I thought, aha, I've got it set up, I wonder if I can. There's watch cable and things like that I've got lying about. And I'm nearly through it actually. I've just put some more oil on it, and the oil's disappeared, so I'm nearly through. It's obviously going to leak out the bottom. The only thing I would say is, like me, I'm not clamped it, I'm only holding it. I'm using a welding glove to hold because there's bits of metal up my arm. Somewhere there, so we're pretty near to coming off, I hope, so that's why I'm filming it. But, we're not going to put any real pressure on it when I'm drilling either because it's jamming at the moment. Off and have a little look. I think it's just catching the top of the welding now. Yeah, I might just give it a little bit more, and then I might see if I can knock it off. running down it now. So yeah, that's gone. That's gone. Just see the pulley move. Oh, that's spot on. That's better. This is what I can see. That's better than what I thought, because it's left that nice little lip on it. Well, I want to put the other pulley on. Oh, that's good. I hope. Won't know until I sort the other pulley out. Yeah. I don't use the hole saw to drill that hole because it's too big. If I've got too small or I've got too big to drill this out, so I know I shouldn't do this. So what I'm doing, I'll put it on here and I'm just going around it with the drill. I know it's not accurate and I know it's going to cost me aggro further down the road. But it's just one way of doing it and getting it done, to be honest with you. So it's basically like that. Squeezing it round, I'm sort of putting much pressure on it, I make that little bit when I'm checking it. Do about that much and I'll check it. I know you're going to criticise me for that, so don't waste your time. It's just a matter of trying to make that hole bigger. It is working actually, it's not that, that's not taking long at all. And it's, I'd say, fairly central at the moment. It will take an inch or two. Right, there it is, it's on it. It's only tacked roughly, very roughly. But it's on it. That worked while I did it with the drill to get that wide enough. Just in case you're wondering how bad I did it, it's 1 millimetre out, or not quite 1 millimetre out at one point, you know, crossways, so out of central basically, and it's just over a mil out on the level, but I'm not sure how much that is this side. So I'm not quite sure how much of that it's been hacked. I mean, I don't quite remember why we ground it off. There's a grind mark across here, and it's been well hacked. So we'll probably give it a good belting at some point, you know, with a hammer or something. That's still got the mower deck pulley on it. My plan is to cut that, and I'm going to weld them just below where the joint, you know, where the washer should be inside it. And I might just put a washer, weld a washer to the end of it so it sort of caps it. Not quite sure what it. I'm still working on it, but I don't want to do too long a video. So it's tacked here and it's tacked underneath at the bottom. This is the original pulley. You should have. That's the size difference. You can see now why I didn't want to cut that with the hole saw, because it's such a big gap. I mean, I could have got it sort of lined up, I suppose. I mean, it's easy when it sits on top of that one, but I thought it might be awkward trying to line it up to weld it, so that's why I chose to do it with drill. I know you're going to whinge about it, but I don't care. It worked. Let me get a tape. Hold on 2 seconds. Right, let's measure up this pulley. It is approximately 4 inches. To the outside, but the belt runs on the sort of inside, so if you had a real thin belt, it'd run on the inside, which would be about 2 inches. So sort of 4, depending on how thick your belt is, you see, because your belt, thinner your belt, the more it goes inside. And the one I've changed it with is approximately, we'll say, just over 6.5 inches, about 6.5 inches, just over. And then, but the pulley can go, the belt can go right into, say roughly just over 4 inches. So it's sort of double. It's doubled. Basically, it's doubled the size. Yeah, it's doubled the size is what I'd say. And then I brought the other pulley down from, I think it's 8 inches, the back pulley, original one, 9 inches to the outside, and the inside is 8 inches. But that basically runs on 8. You would run 8 inch on that. So now I think it's down to about 4.5. So we have sort of half that. we have half that as well. So it'll make it a bit quicker. The only trouble is it'll make it grunt a little bit more. It's not low geared anymore, so be alright in between sort of mud. But how would it be like in the for pulling? I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, this is on there. I'm just going to tidy this bit of tacks up first, and then I'm going to weld it up. And that's me done for tonight. It's took hours to do it. It's been all afternoon. Heidi's just been down there. I've just explained to Heidi what I've been doing, and she's, you know, a lot of bloody work gone into that for nothing. Like I say, I'm not saying this is the way you should do it or nothing. It's just the way I'm doing it, just to push my way through. I mean, it's not when I drilled that. I mean, the thing you've got, like I say, if you've got a lathe or a mill, it'll be easy, you know. But the people who moan about it, is they want to buy me a lathe or a mill or both. I'm quite happy for them to do it. Just make sure it's delivered. I don't want to pay delivery on it. You know, you use what you're using. It's budging. It's not. We're not talking sort of MotoGP or Formula 1. We're talking mud mowers. So there you go. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this video here because I think it's long enough. And I've got to do, actually I have got to do now, because it's a bigger pulley, I believe I've got to cut out the plate. There's a plate that runs so underneath this, the steering bolts onto. I believe I've got to cut a chunk out of that. I'm not 100% sure until I whip the engine again and have a quick look. But I remember some of the other videos I watched, they've had to cut that out. So I might have to do that as well. But we'll leave that to the next video. Okay then, right. Thanks for watching, thanks to all my subscribers. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe now, put your thumb up, all the rest of it, you know, ring the bell, you know the drill by now. And I shall see you next time. Bye for now.